I think all good. Yep, sweet. Gonna have some fun with this one today. This is gonna be a sprint of sorts to try and get as much done as possible in the hour or so I have. I'm gonna continue doing this offline as well, and hopefully I can turn this into a video by the end of the day. But today it's a Halloween special. Happy Halloween, everyone! This is in Australia, at least. Everyone in Australia is in Halloween mode. Um, Maybe overseas it might not be yet, but it's on its way. And today we're going to try and do a character design, but not just any other character design. We're going to do one that my wife drew. She is known on Instagram as WARMELON. So she hasn't been drawing that much recently, but she did one just for me, just for this stream, and yeah, it's amazing artwork. So I want to spruik her work. I want to show what she can do and have some fun with it. So let's go and check out what the artwork is. But first, of course, I'm also working on some other stuff alongside this stuff. Ah, cheers, no worries. You should check out this is from yesterday's work. So I actually got the character rigged and it's animating. So this is actually moving with some slimy slime. And if I turn on the render, hopefully you can actually see it. This is what I'm trying to get out of the yesterday's stream. So you'll see a video in about a day or two, hopefully, on the results of this one. So just to show you what that's going to look like, is a little preview. So check that out in a few days. But today is more important because we're going to do this character. So this character here is going to be what I'm going to be working on today. Hopefully I'll be able to get a bit done. We'll see how we go. It all depends, of course, on the chaotic timer that is my daughter waking up at any given time. So if she opens up and starts babbling, then I have to start shutting off, and I'll have to continue this on tonight. So I hope you guys are excited to see me put this one together. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be super fun to do. So let's get into it. So the way this is going to work, I'm going to be using basically turning my previous character, the one with the weird ponytail and the mask, into this character. So I'm going to be using that body as a base mesh, and then I'm going to be sculpting the face. So I'm going to start off with the face. So I'm going to start with a brand new file, and I'm going to go ahead and save that straight away. And let's just jump into saving this on the right hard drive. Where are we? There we are. 2023 Halloween special. And of course, this file, once it's done, will be available on Patreon. So if you want to download this once it's ready and see how it's all put together, by all means, go for it. Let's go with that. All right, let's jump that in. Let's go ahead and add the first version. Toxic, I'm going to call it Toxic Girlfriend. Version 01. All right, let's go for it. All right, first thing I'm going to do is bring in the picture. So I'm going to use that. I'm not going to do any sort of fancy T-posing or anything like that because I don't have the time for it. So this is be a good example of how you can get away with not doing that if you have to. So I'm going to drag that in, and that's basically going to be my reference image. And I got to say, it looks awesome. So cool. I'm really excited to do this one. So there's my picture reference. So I'm just basically going to be working with that in mind. I might actually split this view, put this there, and basically have one view here with the picture, and then this one can be floating around here, not a problem. But this will be my face to start off with. So I'm going to start with this cube as a face, and then we're going to jump into sculpting straight up. So let me just close off any unnecessary crap. Let's get the Twitch stream open up as well, and we can get going. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, cool. So sweet. All right, everyone, If you're on Twitch, hello. If you're on YouTube, hello. Let's jump into it. So I'm going to start off by going to matcap and using the clay view for this one. I'm going to go ahead and just quickly subdivide this mesh. Like so. And that will give me enough juice to work with. Hello, welcome to the stream, Mighty Nawa on Twitch. Appreciate it. So we got this going on here. I'm going to be focusing on the face for a majority of this stream probably as I try to work this out. So I'm going to quickly jump into mirror mode and let's just start to shape the face. So she has a wide-ish face. So what I want to do is keep that wideness in there. And her head is up that way. So we want to make sure that when we are working with this in mind, that we keep that shape in there. So I'm going to go ahead and start to add, I'm going to go straight to Dine Topo, simply because I can. And go to, I don't know, 6. And start to shape the head. So basically, just start shaping the head. And getting those proportions in there. Now again, I'm just going to roll with it with this one because again, we have a limited time. Not only in terms of baby waking up possibly, but also in terms of just the fact that we only got one day of Halloween. So I'm going to try and get this done within 10 hours or so at home if I can. So we'll see how we go. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to ask away. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right. So just blocking out the overall shape here. All right, so there's a good starting point. So now let's go ahead and start to pull and push these information. I'll turn that off for now. Keep that jaw nice and low. So it's been a while since I've done something without any sort of T-pose referencing. So we'll see how we go. And it's sort of heart-shaped, the head. So I'm going to go ahead and just get that shape in there. Now that looks pretty good. All right. Obviously, we need to get some forehead in there. Yeah. That's the problem with if you're working with a game engine, it's always a bit of a bitch to sort of wrangle the engine to do what you're bidding sometimes. So I'm just going to get some forehead in there. Smooth that out. And then we're going to add some cheek. Once we get this going. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get some cheek in there. So I want this to look really pin-uppy, of course. So that means big cheeks like that. All right, cool. Let's just get those eye sockets in there. And underneath the eye sockets, underneath the whole character, by the way, will be a skeleton. So I have to do this, another translucent character. So this is going to be interesting to do as well. All right, so we got that going on there. Let's just get the whole face forward a little bit. Now, if you're wondering where my review for the XP pen is coming, it's going to be coming in a few days as well. So it's going to be quite a few videos this week, I reckon, coming out over the next couple of days. So hopefully you'll be able to catch them. All right, cool. So Surfx at the 1. All right, that's interesting. All right, so I'm gonna add. The thing is, you gotta be watching out for zombie data inside of Blender sometimes as well. No, no, I'm looking at both. I can see both comments, Twitch and there's no comments on Twitch except for one. So I'm looking out for those on YouTube. And if it's not popping up properly, let's just have a look. Let's make sure that YouTube is loading properly. All right. All right. Yeah, yeah, I'm replying to you. Yeah, I can see both. Yeah, it's all good. It's working. All right, good. Just making sure. But yeah, I'm replying to Night Cow there. Hey guys, how you doing, B Fletcher? All right, so let's get some extra. I might actually have to split this up in two again. So I might split this up in two over here. So this one is only the head. So I can see it a little bit more evenly like that. There we go. Sweet. Turn that one on to matte cup as well. Sweet. Because I want to be able to see the head in its whole entirely. So just adding what I can to the head. It's looking a little bit alien-esque at the moment, but that's okay. It all takes time to get in the right volumes. All right. There we go. It looks a little bit better. A little bit more going on there. Do you have sculpting tutorial that you would recommend? I'm making my first character animation. I find that in terms of sculpting, probably the best resources you can find are probably from like stuff like Flip Normals. They probably have really good. They have really good sculpting tutorials. Although a lot of the stuff is behind a paywall. I plan on doing a more fully fledged video series on sculpting characters, at least. So if you are interested, just watch what I'm doing here today. But in terms of like fully fledged step-by-step stuff, it's actually quite hard to find real good content on YouTube for that. So I'm hoping to fix that in the future. All right, let's just get those shapes in there. I think that will do well. Yeah, I think that would be fine. Now, the interesting thing about my wife's drawings is that she does faces in this sort of way that is sort of dainty, and I'm trying to make sure that I keep that daintiness in the structure without going too Disney-esque, because it's not a Disney yet kind of photo picture. You know what I mean? That looks fucking weird at the front. So let's just go ahead and fix up those shapes. I think we're getting somewhere now. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, that looks better. All right, cool. And then we're going to go ahead and just start to refine these shapes. Let's just go ahead and do that. I might actually, I'm using curves, geometry node. I'm using the, lately I've been using geometry nodes because I want to learn it, and it's actually really effective, and you can customize it really strongly. So I like the fact that you can customize things in Blender's geometry nodes when it comes to hair. So I can make my own hair card system, which is awesome. So that worked out really well. All right, let's just get the eye sockets in there. Yeah, it's exactly right. So like in terms of what you're trying to sculpt, it's always different and difficult to get the right sort of thing. All right, let's rotate this. Let's get the eyes in there. The eyes are quite large as well, so we need to make sure that they stay large. And I'm going to go with a stylized eye socket here. So flatten that out so they don't have to rotate all that much. I'm going to probably rotate the texture if I have to. Smooth that out. All right, let's just get that mirrored like so. Let's start sculpting again and start putting in some details. So we're going to start putting in some eye sockets. So some eyelids, sorry. So let's go and do that. And I just want to get the shape of the eyelids in there first, you know what I mean? Before I move on. So adding some much needed. And you can see here that already the eyes are way too close to each other. So I'm going to bring down the scale just a little bit. Move them aside just a little bit like that. There we go. I am using the presets from the hairs in 3.1, but I am modifying them to do my bidding. So then in some cases they are good, other cases they are not great. So I find myself having to modify the geometry nodes stack or the trees to do what I want it. And it's actually working really well. So that's coming up really cool. I'm really enjoying that process of being able to just modify the existing node trees. So it saves a lot of time having to sort of figure out all the nitty gritty. All right, so what we're going to do here is just start to tweak those eyes to get the shape that I need. And they're kind of sleepy eyes, so we want to make sure that they are kind of in that vein. Now, don't you worry, it still looks like trash. I know that. I know it looks like trash. Yeah, it's best to get an understanding of how the geometry nodes works before jumping into like trying to use everything geometry nodes, like using the complicated systems like hair. I find that having a decent background or understanding of like just the basics will help a lot. Okay, that looks good. I'm looking good so far. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill out those areas a little bit just so I know that that's looking all right. And then I'll fix up the details after the fact. But that's looking good. I'm happy with that. And we'll fix up the eye, like the forehead and all that sort of stuff after. So adding more detail here, for instance. Now, one of the biggest problems that people have when they're sculpting is that they forget to put the eyes into the skull. Like what I mean by that is that they forget to actually add structures for like the nose that stick beyond the eyes. Even though it's a cartoony or soft character, that help define the bone structure. So I'll be doing that a little bit today. I'll be wrangling this up for a while, I reckon. Well, the other thing about hair in general is that you need to practice how hair flows as well. And I'm by no means an expert at that either. So understanding how to sort of manipulate the hair so it looks natural is also really challenging, in my opinion. Okay, cool. All right. All right, so there's the basics of the face in terms of like the structures there. And again, I'll probably move the eyes so they're more wider and more spread apart. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Yeah, already that looks better. So I'll go into edit mode, move the eyes this way, scale them up a little bit. And now we're getting somewhere. There's always an aha moment with these sort of things. And that's looking pretty good. All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing about And it depends on how you want to animate things. So if you're animating through textures, you need to understand that you need to optimize the direction of everything and make sure it's all facing the right direction, stuff like that. All right, let's get that nose out and that chin. There we go. Cool. Out. So it's meant to look dainty. So I'm going to soften that out a little bit. Dainty but dangerous. That's the best way of putting it. So cheek structure should be nice and youthful. So I'm going to give some cheek there, and it's just constantly pushing and pulling the faces and the verts and the geometry as I'm making it to sort of get the structure that I need. Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing with if you want to do it manually, it's still there for you. That's the great thing about this sort of stuff with at least with Blender. So she has a small mouth. Okay, we want to carve out a crease. Now, this is where I reckon my wife would be pretty picky about the lips. So I'm going to try and do the best I can with the skills I have to copy that look. So the lip will always be an overbite with her drawings. All right. And they always almost touch the nose. So it's going to be pretty lippy. All right. So let's get as much structure in there as possible. And then a little lip at the bottom. All right. Now it's not going to look great at first, but we'll get there in the end. And then we'll soften it out as we come into it. All right. Cute. All right. Yeah, I'd say like there's a link that I put into my last video about using hair, that this guy is like, yeah, really good. It's just really good videos. So what I would say is check out his videos on doing hair, especially when it comes to understanding the node editor, for sure. All right, so we're gonna bring the chin way down, in, up, way up, because small chins. Now we're getting somewhere. We'll straighten that out a little bit. Okay, cool. I think we're getting, that's, yeah, things are looking good. Obviously, I'll bring some chin in there, like still, like this. But I think we're making progress. Okay. And of course, we got to get the mouth in. There we go. See how much that makes a difference, by the way? Pushing the mouth back into the skull makes a huge difference. All right. All right. So what we're going to do here is just carve out the lips a bit more and then smooth it out. All right, cool. And now we need to start to carve out the nose a little bit. So this nose has to be really well defined. And I'll probably have to squish even the face up a little bit more to get this to look a bit like authentic to what my wife does with her drawings. So I might even push the lips up even further. Yeah, that looks good. And really squish that nose in there. All right, cool. Let's get that lip looking even thicker. This is fun. Feels good to be able to do something that isn't directly like full on my stuff. All right, cool. All right, cool. There we go. As for the nose, now we need to carve out a little bit of this area, obviously, so we can define the nose a bit more. Morph targets are fairly easy to handle. They're much easier to handle than just straight up rigging in terms of like rigging faces. It's a question, I guess, is if, of course, you have any issues with it in Maya, not Maya, in Unreal, I suppose. So let's try and get that nose to sort of sit something like that. Okay, let's just define that nose a little bit more. Get that going on. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, that's cool. Now, there's going to be a little flick. There we go. That looks cool. Now let's try and add a little bit more of a bridge to the I'm going to add a little bit more of a bridge to the nose. And I reckon I'll have to squish the face down a little bit more from the top. That looks cool. I think we're making progress. All right, so now cheek, 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 lots of cheek. All right, here we go. What do you guys think so far? Looking pretty cool. How you doing, Xantalon? Cheers, thank you for joining. Cool. All right. So now we can just start to redefine some of the face. So I'm going to sharpen up the jawline because she has a strong jaw, and start to work out the ear. And again, with the ear, I might just grab one from the asset library because I can't be bothered. We're in a time sink at the moment. We're in a time poor scenario, so I need to work as quickly as I can. So let's get that jaw looking nice and sharp. There we go. That looks cool. And what we're going to do is grab the pinch tool and just really define that jaw a lot stronger. Why would textures not register in Unreal? I mean, it's like a basic thing. All right, cool. Grabbing this, smooth it out. Okay, we're getting there. Now, as for the eyes, I'm just going to see what I can do about the eyes here and get them looking nice and kind of got like an anime sort of feel to it. So they need to sort of stick upwards. Yeah, something like that rather. So just go ahead and save that just for a second. And then down. All right, cool. So we're going to go ahead and soften that out. And just get the corners in there nice and sharp. And then I'll define the shapes afterwards. All right, cool. And I've also you got this sort of sleepy eye shape. This is the hardest part with these sort of stylized stuff, is just trying to get that sleepy feel to it. But I think I'll end up having to just retopo and then pose it in while when I rig it, after I rig it. Do I have a vertex? Do I have to use a vertex group, and how do I apply it? Geometry node. You have to have a to do hair. I'm assuming you're doing hair. If you need to do hair, you need to basically unwrap it. Not a vertex group. You need a UV unwrap it. Okay, I think that will look good. And just remember, I'm going to be retopoing this and then rigging it. So I need to understand that I don't have to have it perfect. There we go. I think that will work. So again, pushing and pulling the shapes to get, yeah, a cat eye effect. That's right, cat eyes. Yep, that will work well. So notice how the eyes are looking kind of, the eyes are looking a little bit weird on the side because we need to push it further into the skull. So basically to push the eyes themselves and the sockets and round them around the eyes a little bit more. So corners go into corners. And of course I will reposition the face a little bit as well. So I'm just going to redefine the structure of the face a little bit. And in the end, I can also push these parts back. But I've lost a little bit of that detail there. All right. Let's see. What can I do here? Tricky face. All right, cool. So what I might do is I'll flatten out the eyes even further. And I'll tilt them this way. Now that should look good. And then this way. All right, cool. Let's see if that works out. I think that will work fine. And then now let's tweak what I can. So I'm just going to go into sculpt mode again. And then scrape it until I get the shape that I need. Yeah, scrape it back. Yeah, that will work. Scrape, scrape, scrape. And I'll add the eyelids and stuff after the fact. Yep, that's looking cool. All right, cool. Now notice how eyebrows are quite high up. So basically her brow line should technically be up even higher. So something like this. So that's where the brow line will be. And then I'll add eyelids. Now they're getting somewhere. And I'll go ahead and obviously fix up that weird brow bit there. But I think that's looking good. You need to right click. You need to click on the object and say geometry hair, geometry nodes hair. So it's probably why it's not working. You need to define the object that you're doing the geometry nodes hair on. So click on that, then push Control Shift A. All right, let's go ahead and add those. Then we're going to add some more geometry on top. Oh, that looks good. Actually, yeah, that's looking good now. Yep, sweet. So add more and more and more and more and more geometry. Just choosing wisely where to put it. Yeah, that was cool. Okay, we're getting there. So a lot of push and pull. This is the thing about sculpting that you always get discouraged by, is that sort of alien-esque mess that always happens when you're sculpting something. There's always that stage where everything kind of like doesn't quite work. We're kind of just about to get out of that stage. We're trying to just fix the weird brow bit in post. It'll be fine. Yeah, I know, right? So the nose, I want to squish the whole face up a little bit more as well, because the nose is too long. So what we need to do is grab the entire area here, and again, I'm gonna squish the chin. Yeah, that will look a bit better. There we go. I think we're getting there in terms of just the proportions. Just nailing those proportions is quite hard. Okay. And then we can push the face forward a little bit more. Don't worry, it will fix itself. We'll fix it in a moment. So we're just going to grab a little bit of this pinching brush here. Okay. And then trying to find that little lip cleft. And then we're going to bring that lip a little bit smaller over here. And then try and sharpen up that chin. There we go. That's it. I think we're getting there. Now, of course, there's a little bit of a chin there. So what we're going to do is just add a little bit of structure there. And then smooth it out. Okay, cool. So what we need to do here is just give it the bottom lip the right kind of just overall structure there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Push this back a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And now let's just smooth it out a little bit more. Okay. Now it's just a matter of just adding the right kind of weight to the fleshy areas. Yeah, that looks cool. Right shift. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. All right, cool, sweet. Now the chin again. It's like it's a question of like how close do I get to the model, because I can make the chin really small. And I reckon I'll have to make it like a lot smaller. Just make it really doll-like, like that. Yep. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. I think that's looking pretty cool. Now I can let's have to sharpen up these areas. Make sure they're like well defined. Ah, cheers. and then just sort of straighten out, because of the jaw, when you look at it in 3D, it's basically a box. It's going to be basically a box like that. So the question is like making sure that we get the right kind of volumes in there as we draw it. So currently at work at Smoko Break, just dropping to say hi. Thank you. Hope the model goes well. Progress so far looks awesome. Thank you very much on team, not Teams, on Twitch. Thank you very much. Yeah, the drawing reference is my wife's drawing. So basically it's not a 3D drawing. It's just a flat Illustrator drawing. She loves using Illustrator for her artwork. All right, cool. Yeah, I haven't got that far in the sculpt yet, so I'm just basically just working on the core shapes. So just scraping away bits that like are adding too much volume as well. Oops. Making sure not to kill it too much though. Quite difficult. Okay, cool. That's looking pretty sweet. You can, yeah, left shift A, sorry, my bad. All right, cool. So let's just start to manipulate those eyes a little bit more again. There we go. I think that's gonna look cool. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. Cat eyes. Yeah, that looks cool. Yeah, that looks cool. All right, so we're making progress. Always making sure to soften out parts we don't need to have super hard. And then what we're going to do is start to add a little bit of eyelid, because the eyelids you can see are visible there. So we want to add the eyelids in there. Keeping it really, I'm going to keep it really thin. Like that. That looks really nice actually. Yeah, there we go. That's cool. And then sort of soften that out. And then I'll grab this corner, this brush here, just to find those lids a little bit more. And then I'm going to grab the pinch brush, just start to pinch those in. And then I'll use the scrape brush to sort of scrape that out and just flatten out those details a little bit. There we go. Looks mad. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm liking this so far. That's looking pretty cool. So what we're going to do now is the bottom art part of the portion of the face. So what we needed is just reduce some volume here, I guess you can say. See how that looks? Oops, kind of fucked it up there a little bit. Just keep that nice and shapely. Yeah, that looks pretty sweet. I'm going to add a little bit of volume now onto the lid of the bottom of the eye, just to give myself a defining line of where her eyelid will be when I retopo it. Oh, cheers. Thank you, David Kahoot. Just wanted to say hello, Dico. Thanks again for your videos. The topology series helped me a lot more than with characters. Oh, no worries. Cheers. Yeah, it's hard when I'm living in Australia, put it that way. It's hard to keep the videos, do live streams at midnight for me. So yeah, but that might change. I'm still trying to figure out whether or not to do evening streams or not. But hopefully when it all comes together, I'll let you guys know. All right, cool. That's looking pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the final result too. This is my wife's drawing, so I got to do it justice. Okay, and I've got a day to do it, so I'm gonna try and get it done before the end of Halloween in Australia. So when it publishes on YouTube, that at least the American people can appreciate it if they do come across it. All right. Yeah, I really like the eyes now. The eyes are looking really good. Now it's just a matter of now it's just a matter of defining the nose a little bit more. But yeah, that's looking really cool. I need to make sure that the head is in the right sort of position as well. So right now her head is way too flat, way too small on the top. So we're gonna define that a bit more. Big, big heads. Ah, there we go. That looks a lot better already, just like proportion wise. All right, cool. So now I'm just going to add a little bit more structure up here as well. Without really, hopefully not destroying all the hard work I did earlier. Nah, man. I'm from Australia, dude. Well, welcome from Australia and to Chechnya. So appreciate it. Even signing in at this hour, it's really appreciated. All right, that looks a lot better. All right, cool. Let's make sure I didn't destroy that shape on the eyebrows. Cool. And there we go. Yeah, that looks really doll-like now. It's really cool. All right. I'll give it some more structure at the back of the head, of course. Because right now it's looking a little bit thin. And then we'll start to add the ears. All right, cool. I think we're making good progress. Especially given it's been, what, almost an hour doing this. We're doing all right. Now, of course, this is always going to be refined as I do more and more of it. So I also have to let's make sure it's looking really. There's a lot of subtleties in these drawings. No, this one's not for the animation. This is just for Halloween. This is just a Halloween special. So just having a little bit of fun with it today. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, sweet. Let's keep that going. Keep that shape in there. Oh, cheers. Thank you for joining from Spain. Love you, mate. Everybody can see you waiting on face rigging, but I figured it myself. Yeah, sweet. Thank you. I did those tutorials in the wake of my baby being born, so I had basically had to cut it short. And you're one of the few people who probably watched the Maya tutorials as well, because they basically killed my YouTube channel for a while. Yeah, like they were absolute poison. Um, so yeah, thank you for watching them at least. All right, cool. So let's add some ears. So I'm going to go to the asset browser over here and go to unassigned. We're going to go to this character here. Head stylized, just drag it in. Only support in object mode. Let's just go back to object mode then and bring in the character's head. Scale it up and remove 1/2. Oh wait, I don't have to do that. Just remove the islands. 1, 2. If you're in face selection mode and you have UV islands, you can actually just delete faces like this. All right. Bring that back down. And she has little ears, not big ears. So we're going to bring that over here. Little ears like so. Bring it back a little bit. Bring it out a little bit. Like that. And that should do the trick. Yeah, that's cool. I can probably stretch him a little bit too. Like that. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you got to have the forehead to be able to cover the hair. So most people draw their foreheads way too small anyway. That's a big reason for why many people's work don't quite work out the way they think they does. All right, apply the mirror. I'm going to join that together and do a remesh. Let's make sure that the ears are in the right spot though. I'm going to tilt them back a little bit like that too. Something like that would look good. Yeah, that looks cool. So I'm going to grab that and do a remesh. Apparently you can just do control inside of sculpt mode. You can do Shift R as well. If you go to sculpt mode, and there should be a remesh button down here somewhere, or under sculpt. I always forget what the shortcut is for it though. Either way, I don't like doing it this way anyway because it gives me less control. So I like using the remesh modifier. Okay, where are we? Remesh, remesh, remesh. Boom. Voxel, and we're just going to bring down the resolution. And that cleaned up a lot of issues as well. So yeah, there we go. Apply all. And it's looking pretty cool. I think the only thing is that we need to just do a few more adjustments. Namely around the head, the sculpt. So I'm just going to push that out a little bit. Now also be mindful that we don't want to break, we want to play with the proportions to get the right kind. So right now I find that the face being a little bit forward is a little bit, you can probably do that even. I mean, you don't want to look too snouty, but I'm also gonna try to recognize that I'm stylizing the character. It's a stylized character, so the proportions can be a little bit fun. Oh, that's awesome. I would love to see what if you got a link and you got an Instagram, tag me on Instagram with your film. Love to see it and see what the result was of all that hard work. That'd be awesome to see. All right, cool. I think I'm gonna wrap up this portion of the sculpting process. There we go. That looks pretty good. I can probably start to work on the retopo. So the retopo, I'm not sure if I should take some shortcuts here, but before I do that, let's add a neck. So add a mask, draw a hole for the neck around there somewhere. And then just extrude out with mask in sculpt, invert mask, and we're just going to extrude out some faces. Oops. Now that doesn't look great, but we'll make it work. Looks horrible. All right. This is where this stuff comes into play. And let's just go down topo. All right, I'm gonna pull this forward. Pull this forward, and now I can start to define that area a little bit more. Get that neck looking nice and dainty. All right, no worries, man. Cheers. Thanks for watching, Night Cow. Appreciate it. Happy Halloween. All right, cool. Here we go. So I'll probably do another remesh after this to get this to look a little bit more consistent in the neck. Okay. Also want to clean up that shape there just to keep that nice and youthful looking. If you get a little bit of bumps there, it starts to look quite more like an old person. So you want to try and make sure that those lines stay kind of clean. Yeah, like that. We'll fix up the jawline in a second. But yeah, that's looking good. Let's do another remesh. Okay, apply. Yeah, you can use mask for selection. Using a mask to help define areas is really, really useful and help break it up. Okay. Now, obviously, this still needs some work, but considering where we started and where we are now, it's quite a big difference. All right, cool. Now that my geometry is getting a little bit dense now, so I might have to bring it down a little bit with when I do a remesh next time, but it's okay. Let's resharpen those up. All right. Cool. And now this is the part that always is a little bit tricky, is the jawline in terms of getting the right sort of structure. Like getting that nice silhouette in the jaw can be quite tricky. Cool. All right. So what we're going to do is just make sure that the profile is looking good, and then grab this brush, nice big one, and just, that's what I want. Nice and sharp. All right, cool. Here we go. That looks a lot nicer. That looks a lot nicer now. Sweet. Soften that out. Make it look super, super smooth. I'm going to define those eyebrows once more. Now I'm not going to go with like super crazy hair systems and stuff for stuff like eyebrows. It's going to be geometry. So just, if you're looking for that sort of stuff, you're not going to see it here today. All right, cool. And of course, if you want to support the channel and see more of this sort of stuff, feel free to sign up to Patreon, sign up to memberships, just like and subscribe, obviously. Keep up in touch. It'd be awesome. Trying to make this into a more sustainable thing, so any bit of help will go a long way. All right, low strength, just get that in there. I'm actually really happy with that look. I could bring out the eyebrows a bit more, but I don't think I should. And I like the shape of the eyes as well. So the only thing I would do is probably push in this area here to really get that, yeah, to pinch that in. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yep, that looks cool. All right. Yeah, good night, dude. Thank you for watching. One last little run of the eyebrow area, or the eyelid area, and I think I'm happy to move on, especially with the time ticking. All right, cool. So with that then, let's just quickly tighten up those lips again. And I might just quickly just grab this and just do a little indent there, just so I know that's meant to be an open area. There we go. Cool. And one big little push there. And I think we're good. Yeah. Cute though. I think it's working out. I think it's working out. I'm going to be posing, and I might add a little bit of animation. It will be rigged at least, so I will be adding some of that in there. I'd love to be able to animate this one with a little bit of movement. So that's the idea. There we go. That looks cool. And I'll just define the, I might just define the edges of the head here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit more. And that looks a lot nicer. Yep. All right, cool. I really don't want to screw with the details here, but I'm just trying to make sure it's nice and smooth so we can get into Retopo without much pain. Now I have an option to save time. I'm actually quite tempted to use the remesher to do this. Use the quad remesher. Oh really? I had no idea. I haven't really watched much Steven Universe. But notice underneath, I'll have to actually fit in a skull eventually. But I'm going to use a base mesh pack for that. All right, cool. I'm actually quite happy with that. And for the eyelashes and stuff, we'll add it in later. Okay, let's save this. And what we're going to do is just click on, I'm going to apply the scale and go to quad remesh. And what I might try, I'm going to try and just do a straight up, actually, let's just do this. 5,000, set this to 10,000. Here's a cool little trick inside this app as well, this plugin. Use vertex color. I'm going to go to vertex paint. And I'm going to assign the eye area with red in the paint. Just this region here. I'm not sure how well it's going to go with the with this as a remesh. I have no idea how good the edge flow will be, but I'll give it a go. All right, cool. And then I'm going to go with a little bit of blue for lower density over here. Now this is what the app does. Basically anything that's blue will be lower density, lower geometry, and anything that's red will be higher density, higher geometry. So we're going to try and see what happens when we give it a go. Okay. Are you going to finish the whole thing in the stream? No, I don't think I'll be able to finish the whole thing in the stream. It will have to be offline, but I will record the whole thing, and I hope to like publish the video today. So the idea is that I have until the end of the day to basically get this thing done. So I'm hoping that I can get it done. We'll see. All right, with that done, let's go ahead and try this out. Let's try remeshing this. Okay. Oh, okay. Not bad. Let's see how it looks with in the geometry. Actually didn't do it too bad a job. Let's see. There's spiral central. So yeah, not perfect, but it does look cool. There's a little bit of artifacting going on there. And if we turn off auto smooth, I mean, it does work, but it's also just really messy. Now let's try and save that again. Turn on symmetry, delete that, oops, and bring back this one. Turn on symmetry this time and try it again, but with like 7,000. It's called quad remesher. It's quite expensive though. Oh, it is bad if you try to animate, like rig it. Yeah, but it does look like on the outset, it does look okay. Now with the mirroring turned on, it does look a lot better. Let's see what we got here. Not bad. Still got some spirals going on there. Oh, that's the reason why. I should have deleted out those bits in the hole. Actually, I might do that now before I jump into doing this. Let's have a look at this part. Oh, this part looks really good. I can live with that. When does it start going into... Okay. Yeah, I think I might remake. I still might retopo it manually. But yeah, it does look pretty cool. But I might do it for the ears. I might keep it for the ears. So let's retopo first manually, and then I'll worry about maybe using the different parts for the ears and stuff. So let's go ahead and add a new mesh. I'm gonna push edit mode, auto mirror, turn on. I'm gonna have it set to topology overlay, retopology overlay. I'd say a lot, actually, quite a few of edge flow fixes. So what we're going to do now is just face project. Let's set it to face nearest, and I'm going to start this retopoing manually. All right. Okay, let's just go to face project instead. There we go, that's what I want. All right, let's do this. Starting from around the eyebrows, we're going to go around to the cheek. Keeping this as clear, I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible geometry-wise. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm basically drawing out edge lines to define the face. So something like this will be my first loop. Boop, boop. Oops. And I can just go like this. Boom. All right. Next loop will be this part here. I'm gonna make sure individual elements are turned on. Yep, that's the one. And now we have that defined, which is good. Then inside there will be our circular loop. Now I could do a defining loop here as well, but I think I'll keep it simple. So I have a center line there. This is my center line here. Let's match up the center line. One face, two face here. That one's there. Okay, so I might add another one just here. Keep it even. That. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Yeah, 1, 2 here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that should do the job. All right, cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert a edge loop like so. And that will define the eye structure. So boom, going to the edge of my eye here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Getting there. Cool. Defining the eyelash or eyelid. Let's go to tweak. It's a bit faster that way. Tweak mode. I'm gonna add 2 more lips here, so it's easier to define the corners of the eyes. So the nice thing about this new tablet that I'm using here is that it's just so nice to use for in Retopo. So nice to use. So there we go. We got the lips there. All right, let's add another lip here, another lip there, and I might bevel that a little bit to get 2 loops. And there we go. So I need enough lips for the eye, just to get the eyebrow, the eyelid to define itself nice and sharply. There we go. I'll worry about the inner track of the eyebrow or eyelid later. But for now, that's looking pretty good. And I can move on. All right, cool. Nice. Let's go into the nose. So I'm going to extrude out a loop this way, right to the center of our face, which will be here. Well, it can be down there even. Boom. And this will define the cheek and the chin. So going down this way, boom, boom. I'll start to redirect it all the way down this way. That. This will help to define the mouth. Like that. That's looking pretty cool. Now, normally, you see people do sculpts and stuff, and they don't have to worry about like doing the retopo for their final render. I find myself always wanting to do a retopo because it just looks so much cleaner. All right, cool. Let's get the nose defined. So this loop here will go underneath the nose. Like that. Because even though the lips are really close to the nose, I still want to get this looking nice and clean. All right, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can add a loop there. That will actually work well for me, like that, and then that. Cool. And I can add a loop this way for the mouth. And this will help me define the nose a little bit clearer. Yeah, just in case. Yeah, for sure. Just in case you end up needing to do it. You end up animating the whole bloody thing. All right, cool. Let's have a look and see how that looks so far. So far, so good. We can also turn on random colors over here to see how it's looking over top. And I might set it to on in front as well, just to see how it's looking. All right. All right, so we need to add 1 more loop for the lip just here. And then we can loop around the lip. Like that. So it'll be two sort of edge loops that go this way. You can see here that I'm moving these edge loops across because it's just looking a little bit too stretched. So what I'll need to do is add a loop here, and I might add a loop here as well. And that should be right. Okay, cool. Now this loop will go around the mouth. Matching up with these loops here. Oops. Cool. We can match these loops here, here. Cool. And then we have 1, 2, 3. So we need to add a loop here. So we got, yeah, 3 loops here. Sweet. There we go. Looking cool. Do you keep up with the Blender conference at all? Looks like grease pencil animation. Yeah, so I was looking at the latest updates for on the Blender conference at least. I was looking at particularly how they may be changing the way rigging will be done in the future. I'm really excited about that. It looks like there's going to be a lot of improvements over the next 2 years. I can't wait. Personally, I wish that they could put a priority on rigging nodes, because that would be an absolute lifesaver. But already the improvements that are coming out next week in Blender 4 are looking really good. So I can't wait to give that a go, because I really want to make a new rigging series, like a proper rigging series for everyone. So I'm hoping that I can get that going over the holidays, over the December break. Maybe we'll see how we go, or try and just get into the zeitgeist as soon as possible, because there's some really good features that they've added, and now my rigging series is kind of getting out of date. So yeah, if you guys want to see it, let me know. All right, cool. So it's going to get that lip in there. See how many loops I will need to define those lips. I reckon quite a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go with that. Yeah, it'd be awesome. Yeah, because I really want to do like a proper full-on one, and I've learned a lot over the last few years as well with my own rigging techniques. So I wouldn't like to share those too. These lips are actually going to be quite difficult to get right. Okay. So what I might do here is I might try a little trick that I usually do, which is to grab this loop here and squish it down. And I'll define the shape of the lip first. Come on, you can do it. Okay. Why can't I click that one? Jesus. All right. Grab this one, put it over here. That's so weird. My face is inverted? Let's have a look. No? Okay, just being a prick. Let's grab this manually and just grab all of those and just move them forward. Come on. Snap, snap. Good. And you can see just how you need to really wrangle those burts. The improvements are notably around the way you organize your rigs. So like stuff like collections. So now they have joint or bone collections. So now you don't have to worry about these crappy layers on the over the side here, which means organizing your rigs is going to be a lot easier. And also just like functionality wise, there'll be some really good improvements with regards to how you can like rig visibility of things. So I want to, one of my biggest pet peeves when I rig with Blender is that it's hard to rig visibility of joints to work the way you want. So for instance, if you want to have FK, IK turn off and on, when you switch them off and on, you can't really do that, not easily at least. So I'm hoping that the new improvements allow you to sort of do that on a simple collection. So you can actually like say when FK is on, IK is turned off on the collection. That'd be really cool. Oh, thank you. Cheers. So far I've gotten away using Rigify, but I'm not sure how much longer it's going to work. Yeah, I mean, like Rigify is great, but there are some things that piss me off about it. I know. I'm not a big fan with how it rigs arms. I know it's weird, and the body. Um, it feels like it's got this weird disjointedness to it that good for like short-term stuff, but long-term I find it quite annoying to work with. But it's awesome that it actually exists in Blender. Put it that way, like it is the best default auto rigger available for any software, in my opinion. All right, cool. That looks a lot better. Okay, that looks good. So now what I need to do is add a loop. Yep, that will define that part of the lip, that part of the lip. There we go. That looks a lot better. There we go. That's what we want. How nice is that? Yeah, I like Blend Rig is, yeah, I've seen some people been using that on my Discord and it looks promising. Like it looks cool, that's for sure. All right, let's just go ahead and you're gonna get a lot of geometry out the upper lip there, but that's okay. Let's just go ahead and snap that. All right, cool. That looks cool. I'm liking that. We just need to clean up some of that geometry a little bit. So we just need to grab the smooth tool and smooth that out a little bit more. So these parts here looking a little bit dense. So let's go ahead and smooth out these faces here. Like that. And that looks a lot more promising. There we go, looking good. A bit more smoothing here as well. And maybe a little bit of smoothing here. Like that, that looks cool. Awesome. Ah, thanks, cheers. And they'll look better once I might do a multi-res pass on top of that as well. You can't seem to make it work. It's interesting. How does a smooth tool work? You basically just pull. You have to select the faces, and then you grab the little handle, and then you smooth it away. So that's how it works, basically. Okay, cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select these areas, and just sort of soften those out a little bit more. There we go. Cool. Yeah, yeah. So you can set the surface. Yeah, for sure. That's cool. All right. So we got most of the face done. Let's go ahead and fill out the jawline. All right, we've got one little stray vert there. Let's clean you up. Bad vert. There we go. Cool. And get this going. So basically what I'm going to do here is just start to define the jaw. And this will go up. This is just something that I do nowadays. I just have it go up all the way up to the ear and then sort of join up with the top of the head. As for when this separates, we'll do it from here. Something like this would be cool. All the way around. I think this is like a, oh yeah, we managed to get to 11 o'clock for the first time in weeks, I think. She had a good morning, so Baba is still sleeping, at least for now. She'll probably wake up soon though. So just keep in mind that I might have to pop off at any moment. All right, so we've got that going on. Let's define this area here. Done. And now we just got to define this area here. So what we need to do is add a loop, a couple loops here. And let's see, what can I do to I can probably just simplify the amount of edges I have here. Again, I'm trying to keep this fairly low poly. Let's see how we go by deleting that. Let's just see. All right, cool. 1, 2, 3. Grid fill. Oops. Grid fill. Ah! Grid fill. There we go. All right, so we got that going on there. We can start to smooth out these a little bit too. So just going to smooth those out. Redistribute those a little bit. There we go. All right, so we need to join up this area here. And now these will all join up like so. And then we have no faces here. Boom. I mean, it looks a bit loose. Looks a bit like a little bit stretched over there, but I think we can make do with what we got here. She's not going to be doing any like bubbles, like blowing any raspberries or anything like that. So the simple solution here would be to add 2 loops here, and that would fix the problem. It's hard to say. Sometimes I prefer sculpting over polymodeling. I'd say to get the smoothest results, sculpting does help to have. It helps to have a base sculpt because you can just not have to worry about constantly moving verts around like I am now. Like that comes every now and then, but it's not as often as what you'd have in a like doing it by hand. But it is still fun. All right, cool. How many loops do I have here? Statistics. Let's have a look here. Statistics. Edges 24 and 24. That's actually pretty good. All right, let's keep it that way. I wonder what the proportion is though on top and bottom. Let's have a look. up in here, 13, 11. Okay, 11, 13. So what I can do here, I can probably get rid of this one. That one looks a bit redundant. 23, and I'll put an extra lip there to define the region of the nose. So that should be more evenly spread between the corners of the eyes. So that's the corner of the eye here. Edges 13 and 11. Yeah, that's all right. That's technically the corner there, and then that would be the other side. So I can rate it that like that. That looks pretty good. 12 and 12. Yeah. So basically, I'll just bring this corner into there. Yeah, I can live with that. Recently watched a short. I was really impressed. Hope to see more shorts. Yeah, I'm working on one. Oh shit! I just saw a raid. Thank you very much for the raid. I didn't get notified. Fucking hell! Thank you very much. Cheers. On Twitch at least. Thank you very much. Just looking at all the different stuff. Here we go. Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers. All right, so we got that going on. We've got this face is almost done. So now what we need to do is just do the back of the head and the ear. So what I'm going to do is, oh, cheers, go for it. Keep rating. Get your friends to rate. I don't care. It's really awesome to see more people jump in. So appreciate it that. So yeah, that's looking good. If we go ahead and isolate that, that's looking good too. If we isolate over here, it looks pretty sweet. Especially if we subdivide this and smooth it out. That's looking pretty sweet. There's a few little bits, dips there, which I'd probably fix up. Like here. But it's looking good. But a little bit of smoothing will fix that up. And puffing that back up with a brush will also do that. Hey, I have a question. I want to model a ripped clothing, but I don't know how to do it. Any tips? Don't. Basically, you just rely on the, I would say just rely on texturing if you can. Depending on whether you're going with a, high poly or low poly model, you may be able to just get away with just doing an alpha channel texture to smooth out the, to do the ripped texture. So that's what I would do normally. Otherwise, it's just you're gonna be dealing with lots of weird polygons and all kinds of annoying shit. So yeah, my recommendation is, yeah, just texture it. Sorry, just making sure that this is looking rounded. I can fix that later. There's something there that looks a little bit off. But that looks all right now. All right, we'll fix that up later. All right, cool. So turn off the subdiv. Yeah, check it out. It'll save your life. Trust me, it will definitely save your life. Now you'll see here that the reason why it's acting a little bit weird is because it's not knowing which way to direct the pinching of this cheek. So what I would do is I'm just going to add a helper pinch there. Hopefully that will define in the right direction. No, this way, sorry. There we go. That keeps the structure. Have I tried Cozy Blanket on the iPad? I haven't yet. It was made by the guy who developed the new sculpting tools for Blender back in the day. So yeah, I can almost see why it would be so well regarded. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and get the ear done. So I'm going to cheat with this. I'm going to go ahead and grab the head here and do a quad remesh and set it to like 2000. Set the adaptive size to 100, remesh it and see what happens. Okay, so it's a little bit dense there. Let's turn off the vertex colors there. Undo that. And do that again. This time I'm going to do like 5000. Maybe less. Okay, let's go less. Let's go like 1000. So I'm remeshing just to save time on the head and the ear. All right, that looks all right. I can deal with that. And if we look at the model here, you can see why I'm remeshing. I'm remeshing the sides, but this region is a little bit fucked, but the other parts are fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that part of the face. Bring back to the original version. And then I'm going to merge these ones together. So this Retopo cube and the plane, join those. Oh, before I do that, I've got to remove the mirror. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into those. One and two, join, shade smooth, and now we have that going on. So now we can sort of join them together pretty easily. And I think the amount of geometry is pretty close to each other too, which is good. So what I will do is move this away, like so. Grab this and just slide it up a little bit like that and see what we're working with. But this is why you would use, this is how you would effectively use, this is how you effectively use Retopo, remeshing tools, by the way. So we got that going on. I've saved a lot of time trying to fix that ear. So what I would do, I would probably fix up that area there a little bit. There's a little bit of kitching, although you can't really tell in the render, so I'm not even going to bother. Let's have a look at linking this up. So that's almost exactly the same, which is awesome to see. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that, join that. Oh, so close. So I might actually add a few more loops here just to make it easier for me. Yep. All right, cool. That worked out much faster than I thought. So that's really good to see. So what I'm going to do is just smooth out these areas now. Yep, looking cool. How good was that, by the way? That was awesome. Yeah, that was really lucky. Jesus Christ. Normally it wouldn't come out that smooth. It would never come out that close to each other ever. All right. Sweet. All right, cool. I think I'm pretty happy with that. That works out really well. Let's just go ahead and just attach it to the face so it looks a little smoother there. But otherwise, we're on the right track. Now, what I would do here is just remove. I'm gonna remove one, and no, just remove that one. That one's too dangerous to remove. As for this little bit, I could fix it. It's not that much of a problem. It's just like grab those. And yeah, that's actually quite simple to fix. Grab this at last. And yep, that was it. a little bit nicer looking. That looks a lot better. And if I subdivide that, you can't even tell. And that actually works out really nicely. Good stuff. All right. So now for the top of the head, it's pretty simple. With the rest of the body done, I mean the head, I can move on to the body. And the body's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to just go ahead and just link up the bits. Like that. Grab this, grab that. Yep, great. We're closing in on 2 hours. We'll see how we go. I'm not sure if little Bubba will wake up soon. She probably will. It's already 11:15, so she's already over time. So if we're lucky, she might keep sleeping until 12, but I don't see that happening. But we'll try. All right, cool. So let's see what we got here. Let's smooth that out. And I think this will deform really nicely as well, which is cool. All right, let's check my email. Sorry. No, it's crap. That's all good. All right, so grab this, start to pull these up this way. And what do we have? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That can join there. And now what I want to do is just grab these. One more loop there. Grab this. Bevel. Come on, bevel. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, cool. So we're almost done with the head. All right, sweet. Going like that. Great. When I think of modeling, it's about design and art and vision. When I model so much of it is about counting. Yeah, it is. It's massively about, especially when you're doing Retopo. It's about like just puzzle solving half the time. All right, so I'm gonna grab that. Actually, I needed to find. Actually, no, that's a good place to do that here rather. So what I'm gonna do is define the forehead breaking there. So I'll turn into a 5-point star. That's good. Last, and then I will smooth this out like so. All right, cool. Not bad for 2 hours work. Got a whole face retopper as well. That's awesome. So making good time. All right. 1, 2, 3. There we go. All right. Last but not least, we just got to add a loop here. F, F, and actually don't need a loop. Yes, I do have to add a loop. I think. I'm not sure actually. Let's just go ahead and do this. So I want to make sure that the loop around the head, around the crown is even. Because this has to go. Yeah, I know what to do. So just grab this. This has to go here. This has to go like this. Yep, solved. All right, cool. And now we just have to smooth this out a little bit and we're golden. All right. So eventually this will become the base for the hair as well. The hair is probably the thing that would probably take me the longest to do down the line. So I'll probably do that off stream. But surprisingly good progress in the hours that we've been together. All right, cool. Feel free to keep asking questions. Hey, does anyone get this after hours and hours of Blender and step into real world? Your body feels mirrored. Oh, I just feel like my whole neck is broken half the time. My wrist definitely need to be cracked. That's for sure. All right, so we got that done. Let's turn off that part there. Turn on subdivision, and now we can start to refine some parts. So let's just get rid of that edge there just for a second. And what we need to do is just make sure that all these little bits and bobs are nicely softened. Okay, that looks okay. This part needs to be puffed up a little bit on the edge. So I'm just going to turn off that and just do that myself with the sculpt brush. She's looking, yep, there she goes. All right. All right, there we go. I think I'll have to pop off. That was a pretty good run though. I'll be continuing on this off stream when I get the chance. So we've got this going on. Thank you for watching. Time is up. Time to go. I'll continue with this when I get the chance. And hopefully by the end of the day, and by those who live overseas in America, you'll see a fully fleshed out model done, ready to roll in a video featuring this character. So thank you again for watching. I hope you can enjoy the video again later on to learn about sculpting, but otherwise I gotta go. Cheers, have a good night, and happy Halloween.